Oh, wow. Hey, welcome everybody. Hey, welcome. Uh, Hopefully getting things fixed around here. I hope so. Welcome to Clobberin Times issue number 190. 899 overall over the 12 plus years here, but it's only 190 on YouTube. What an adventure YouTube has been, especially over the past couple of days. Before I get started a little bit, some show notes. Of course, welcome everyone to Clobberin Times Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk, by the way. Always a little bit of a tribute to our great buddy, the late great, always will be great Mark C. So, man, we miss him, and I know he would have loved what we've been talking about this month. It is, of course, Jack Kirby month here on Clobberin Times. Hail to the King. All month, the whole thing, especially on our Monday Night's Comics Talk. So I have some other types of topics tonight. Of course, it'll be all about Kirby FF because, we had such a wonderful time. I think we all did. Hopefully everyone did. I hope you all had a great time hanging out with the Global Geek Gang yesterday, celebrating 60th anniversary to the day of the release of Fantastic Four #1. So, and tomorrow night, this little quick show note, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. As always, I thank the great Stone Loki for that opening intro and outro that he made for me. But also, I will be hosting. We take turns, as you may know, hosting the Comic Book Roundtable. On Tuesday night. So tomorrow night, the Comic Book Roundtable will be here on Clobberin Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. For those who are not familiar with it, we just basically, it's 5-6 of us. We usually like 5 of us, plus we get a guest. And we kind of just goof around. We talk comics, of course, but we always have a lighthearted good time where we make jokes. We have our little segments talking about what's going on with comics or related issues with comics. And we even kind of look at some of the new comics coming out. We don't buy them or anything. We kind of goof on what's coming out, of course. And we do the male gaze. We look at lovely lady superheroes because we're that toxic. And what else do we do? And I recommend great comic reads and that sort of thing. So that will be, of course, tomorrow night, Tuesday. And I always enjoy hosting the gang. And so, of course, tonight, well, again, last night, as I said, we celebrated the 60th anniversary of my beloved Fantastic Four, our beloved Fantastic Four. And we're going to do that a little bit tonight. Just talk some more Kirby FF. Since it's, Jack Kirby month and it's dovetailing with the 60th anniversary FF, I thought I would focus a little bit more, not just on FF, but Kirby FF. So let me say some hello to all of our great friends who've already popped in. J-Man, buddy, all right, man. So a week from Wednesday, if we're still on, bro, and just let me know if we are. Wednesday, I call Wild Card Wednesday. It can be any topic. Again, Saturday nights, of course, is Saturday Night Star Trek. Again, by the way, thank you all for what a great crowd we had for Saturday Night Star Trek this past Saturday night. For those who don't know, we're reviewing all of real Star Trek, 1966 through 2005 only, all the shows and movies, only the real Trek that we'll do, of course. And we're in the first season of Star Trek The Next Generation. My wonderful first officer, the beautiful and magnificent R.M. Raquel Briggs, Commander Briggs, and we're getting toward the end of the first season, and you guys have been fantastic with that. We have such a wonderful time. You come in, and if you're a Trek fan, you'll have a great time just hanging out with us. We review the episodes. We do 4 a week. We rate the episodes. We ask, and then we get our chat involved, our wonderful chat, give us their ratings and their comments on the episode, and it's a lot of fun. You'd enjoy it if you have not been here already. So, but on Wednesday nights, it's wild card thing. Just as Monday nights always comics and Saturday nights always Star Trek. Oh, and Thursdays the Global Geek Gang. Well, Wednesday night's wild card could be a topic, could just be an open show of just me talking to you and hanging out with you guys, talking about various geekness. But a week from Wednesday night, if we're still on, if J-Man and I are still on that one, and let me see. Let's see here. Let me know, Jay. J-Man and I will be talking in depth about the film Dredd. I'm a big Judge Dredd fan. I know many are. However, I'm the only Judge Dredd I've ever met, or one of the few that actually hates that movie. But it had been 10 years since I've seen it, almost 8 years, 9 years. And I've decided to give it another go and see if my review will change, see if I will change my opinion on it, because so many people love it and tell me how fantastic it is. So we will see if I change my view on that or not. I've already watched it, but I will not reveal what I think now, if anything's changed or not, until a week from Wednesday night. I believe that's still the deal. We'll keep you posted on that time. D-Bud Martin, brother, the Iron One himself. Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Stuart Mitchell, hey there. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. Andrew, 4, 6, and 2. It is good to see you. Mark D with a C, bro. All right, buddy. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Hey, Darth Haster. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Appreciate those hymns. Athena Fowler. Oh, Athena Fowler. I've not had the pleasure. I really appreciate seeing you. We always love seeing new people here. And I love that name. And I do agree. Loved what Kirby did with Fantastic 448 through 50, The Coming of Galactus. In fact, about a year ago or so now, my wonderful buddy who has unfortunately passed, who we named this Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk after, we did a stream reviewing The Coming of Galactus. It's in my it's in our Mark C playlist, actually. And we talked it in depth about that wonderful classic story. Let's see here. And I appreciate you again. Appreciate seeing you, Athena. Thank you for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to see new people pop in there. Follower, not Fowler. I'm sorry, Athena Follower. Whoops. I'm moving the screen back close to my eyes again, folks. Sorry about that, Athena. I'm an idiot. Thanks. And again, thanks to the great Steve Mitchum. What's up, brother? Good to see you, buddy. I didn't look close enough. I rarely do. Oh, well. And again, forgive me, Athena, but it is, again, a pleasure to see you here tonight. Again, I want to thank everyone who hung out with us. Appreciate that, Steve. You know it, buddy. I know you do. I know you do, man. I want to thank everyone who joined us last night. Again, I announced it for a long time. And my gang of Global Geeks, everyone who joined us, the Global Geek Gang, and, of course, the wonderful Purple Valkyrie and my great buddy Stone Loki also were kind enough to join us. And I also want a big shout out, a big thank you to the great Lord Doomcock. I was very honored to be a guest on his Pop Culture Breakdown show last night. We went for like 5.5 hours or whatever. It was the usual great adventure over there on his amazing channel. And that was a lot of fun. And I was just as honored as I can be to be asked to be on that with my good buddy DC and the other cool people on that panel, Valiant Renegade, Kelvington, and my great pal Mexican Iron Man. And it was a good time. Just a normie. Thank you for popping in. Good to see you. So that was a lot of fun, and I appreciate the big DC for that one. He's great. Now Kirby FF again, as obviously what we did yesterday and celebrating. Obviously, it's the 60th anniversary. Yesterday was of the Fantastic Four #1 release, August 8th. 2020, 1969, and now on 2021, August 8th, we would celebrate it, and we did it 4 p.m. Central Standard Time yesterday. And we did talk a lot about Kirby because it is, of course, Jack Kirby month, as it always is here on Clobberin Times. But we talk about a lot of other aspects. Well, we focused a good bit on, since it was the first issue, I decided I would challenge the panel. Just Joe, what's up, brother? Always good to see the great jobber here. I talked to the panel a little bit and asked them what their first exposure was to the Fantastic Four, it being a show celebrating the day of the first issue and all. Because even though it was the first issue, it was not very few of us were old enough Even I wasn't old enough to buy that one off the spinner rack. I'm old, but even I wasn't old enough for that. So we all talked about our origins, our loves of the Fantastic Four, and then we talked a little bit about some of our best Fantastic Four memories, and it was a lot of fun. We did a couple hour and a half or so, two and a half hours, whatever it was. I was tempted just for symbolic sake to go 4 hours, but just learning about Kirby. Well, this Jack Kirby, and I talk about it all the time, probably to the point where people get sick of it, but I do it anyway. Just like last week's show was also all about Kirby. Every Monday night this week, man, and Mark C will be about Kirby. Last week was about, I called last week's show the $1 Billion King, the creations of Jack Kirby, because the things he's created and co-created have amounted to billions upon billions of dollars without his unbelievable, extraordinary imagination. The world would be a poorer place, in my opinion. Certainly the worlds of fantasy and imagination, and definitely comic books, the art form of comics. Other genres, but comics in particular, would be almost non-existent really right now. And Kirby did so much, but I thought since we're in Fantastic Four mode, since this is probably, do I want to say it's his greatest creation? I mean, I love his co-creation of Captain America and many others. I would say it's probably his most important creation for sure. And since it's the 60th, I thought I would focus a little bit about Kirby and his relationship with the Fantastic Four, Fantastic Jack, as I call tonight's show, because, again, without what happened with the Fantastic Four, well, you know what, Justin Orme, that is an interesting question, and I got a good answer for you. It would take a long time to answer it. What I could do, though, and I'm glad you asked that. That's actually excellent. There is a documentary about that answers, a documentary no less, that answers that very question. It's called Kirby at War. It was released a couple of years ago. Last I checked, it was still on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it is, but it talks about Kirby's experiences in World War II, and it talks about how it affected his art later. It's all about exactly what you asked, which was how much. Normie asks, how much do you think his life early on from WW2 played in his influence of what he did? It played a gigantic part in that. And there's a documentary that really, really deals with that question far better than I could hear tonight. Athena follower, absolutely. The world's greatest comic magazine. Phantom Outsider, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. The documentary, I believe, is called Kirby at War, and I think it is still on Amazon Prime. I'm not 100% sure that it is. It's been about maybe a year since I watched it. It's really good. It's when you see the things Jack went through in that war, and it does talk about how his World War II experiences, and he is a World War II combat veteran and a hero. When you see what it did to his life and how it affected his art, it's fascinating. It really is. It's still on there. Thank you, J-Man. Okay, it's still on Amazon Prime. I want to go watch it again. It's been about a year since I've watched it. It's fascinating. So yeah, take a look at that. It really is. It's phenomenal. And there's also, if you want to know more about Kirby, there is on YouTube. If you just type into YouTube Jack Kirby documentary, there's a great documentary about him on there as well that I really love. And of course, you've got some great YouTube channels that Kirby Continuum. The Kirby Museum does have a channel as well. Oh, not in Canada? Oh, I'm sorry about that, Jay, man. Damn, dude. If you get a chance to watch that, though. Damn. But yes, but also the one on YouTube is really good. And as I often say, I say it so much, I know people get sick of it. The 2 times I met and spent time with Jack and Roz Kirby were the 2 greatest geek experiences of my life. Certainly I'm biased, but my favorite creation, My favorite single character creation of his, of course, is the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. Duh. Yeah. But in general, of course, that means that it's encompassed by the Fantastic Four. And before we get started, I'll do a recommendation like I did last time. If you're interested in Kirby's Fantastic Four and reading a lot about it, this is the book I recommend the most. It does talk about a lot of the beginnings of Marvel when they were Atlas before they really kind of became Marvel. I love Tomorrow's publications. They're the best. They do the best. They do the best things out there. The best magazines and books about comic book history. I rave about them. I have, and since the early 90s, I've been ordering from John Morrow. I've been ordering the Jack Kirby Collector. I have every issue of it. And this is considered to be a issue of the Jack Kirby Collector, but they put it in a different format than the normal mag. It's in a trade paperback form. It's called Lee Kirby, The Wonder Years. Released around 2011 or something like that. If you have trouble finding you might be able to find the paperback out there, but if not, Tomorrow's website, you can get it on digital. It's a must-read, and it covers the entire 102-issue run of the Kirby Lee run on FF. And, of course, the beginnings of how everything got started. This is a great book, and I highly recommend it. If you want to read about how, it covers every issue after it talks a lot about the beginnings and all that kind of stuff. This is a great book about that. If you're a Fantastic Four fan or if you're just a fan of comic book history. Now, without going too far down, as I did in last week, that rabbit hole about who did what, I'm a big believer that Jack Kirby did most of the heavy lifting when it comes to the creation. However, because it's Fantastic Four anniversary, I give both Stan and Jack, I give the shared credit, but my belief is Jack did most of it. We won't have to get into that argument. You know what? You can't make up your mind. You got to make up your own mind anyway, because none of us were really there when it really comes down to it. But I've been studying this Kirby versus Lee credit argument, and even Lee versus Ditko credit argument for 35 years now, 36 years, whatever it was, when I really got interested in it. I'm no scholar by any stretch, and I'm not a real historian by any comic book historian, anything like that. I just love comic book history and I know what I know. And this, in my opinion, this is the best book out there. And make sure you get the expanded edition in terms of who did what. It's very fair-minded. It's in the words of these through the really Kirby, Lee, and Ditko, and some others. But in terms of who said what, and you can draw your own conclusions from it. It's considered also to be the Jack Kirby Collector number 75, just a different format. And they came out with an expanded and corrected edition. Anyway, came out a couple of years back. Kirby Lee's Stuff Said, the complex genesis of the Marvel Universe in its creator's own words. A fascinating book. This is a great one. It's annotated such where it's color-coded who said what, quoting these gentlemen. And these books are all, I mean, again, that's just been the thing with me always, the minutia or the inside baseball, if you will, of comic book history. Just something I always loved. I mean, I have every issue of the magazine they produce that comes out every other month and every month. Back issue magazine, love it. I love the Jack Kirby Collector, have every issue of that. I love Alter Ego magazine by Roy Thomas. I don't have every issue, but I grab it every now and then when they have the new issue, of course, but devoted to Kirby's great. So I grab that when they have something in there I want to read. I have many of their books. So Tomorrow's is fantastic. But when it comes to Kirby's FF, that is true, Athena. I mean, there are a lot of firsts in the first 100 issues of Fantastic Four. A lot of people will tell you when you talk about great comic book runs, in terms of, and a run meaning, a creative team, how long they stayed on a book or a character. When they talk about the great ones, this one's always mentioned at the top. I don't think there's one that's better as a run, personally. There are many great ones. A few months ago, 5, 6 months ago, I went on here and I read a CBR article. I know you shouldn't be. That's kind of a bad thing to read because they're kind of crappy, but that lists the top 100 comic book runs of all time, and I commented on them. I gave my opinions on which one I thought I guess it's an opinion. They're all opinions. Which ones I thought were valid on the list, which ones I thought were too low, too high, didn't belong at all. And of course, the Kirby Lee FF run was way up there. Kirby did, oh yeah, well, Phantom Outsider, he did all that. So yeah, when we talk about his creations a lot. Yes, Normie, he did. Kirby left Marvel. Well, first of all, he was at Marvel before he was at Timely, then went to Marvel, then went to DC in the 50s. They were called National Periodical Publications. For DC, he created the Challengers of the Unknown and did some work for them there. Then he went, of course, back to Marvel, did a bunch of science fiction and Western and monster books and things like that before he did FF. Then in 1970, it's such a huge event when Kirby left Marvel in 1970 to go to DC to start his Fourth World books with the Jimmy Olsen title first. It's called Kirby leaving Marvel for DC ushered in the Bronze Age of comics, silver to bronze. Athena, that is correct. For his Fourth World stuff for DC, Kirby created Darkseid. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Phantom Outsider. I like that. Yeah, Kirby created New God. Well, toward the end of his run at Marvel, when he was working on FF and Thor and other things, he kind of, if you read those latter issues of FF and even Thor, he was kind of tired of Martin Goodman and Stan Lee, and to his mind, stealing from him. And so he kind of started holding back some of his ideas, particularly with Thor, because and he brought a lot of that to DC with the New Gods. And that his New Gods title, started, funnily enough, in Jimmy Olsen, And it was, of course, New Gods, Forever People, Mr. Miracle, and such. So he also did the Demon, which was not connected to that really, but yes. He ushered in the Bronze Age of comics. I mean, that's pretty. That's pretty powerful. Of course, everything he's revolutionized the medium so many times. Now, his FF. I mean, it really kind of just speaks for itself. The grandeur of his art. He could Jack Kirby could not. He never could draw on an interesting page, and he could tell more. He can put forth more emotion and story. It could tell a story in one page with one page than some could in 5, 6 pages. If you look at what he did with this collage here, where he combined it with actual comic book art, I always love that. Hey, Chris Persia, great to see you, brother. Dad Man Walking, what's up, man? Oh, well, I hope you're getting good rest there, buddy. It's good to see you. Let's see. But he could one page of Kirby's all you need to. I mean, look at the dynamism there. I love a Kirby crackle. This is a page filled with Kirby crackle. And tonight, like I said, we're just talking basic. Going to go all over the place with Kirby FF. Every page is dynamic. He cannot draw. He can't draw. He never could draw on an interesting page. That's one. This is the bottom. This is not even one page. The bottom half of one page. And a Kirby page always, to me, always looks like it's moving. It's always busy. Matthew Pounder, welcome. Phantom Outsider says there was a story that Kirby was using a Norse mythology book for Thor, and an assistant asked, "What will you do when you run out of those stories?" Jack said, "We'll just have to create new gods." Yeah. The latest issue of the Jack Kirby Collector is about. It's called The Old Gods. It's actually about, well, without spoiling, but it's got a lot. It's a great one, and it deals with a lot of that stuff. I haven't got a chance to read it all yet. Yeah, well, normally that's for sure. That's true. Panels to a lot of comic books today. I mean, it happened before, but a lot of comic books today, these people. First of all, they're drawing. A lot of them are drawing on computers. These people, and they're fine artists. I can't draw, but they're fine artists here and there, I'm sure. But a lot of them don't have any backgrounds or anything like that. And other than when Vince Colletta would erase the backgrounds of some old other artists, and he usually kind of wasn't a great inker on Kirby either. Kirby always had very busy pages. Even with his cruder style in the beginning, as you see here. I had a page I wanted to. What happened to you? I mean, he was the only. There were a lot of great and dynamic artists, but Kirby could make one page with one panel, one page look alive, like it's moving, and I've always loved that about him. Matthew Pounder says Kirby would directly lift text from that book, proving he wrote some of the early Tales of Asgard. Oh, yeah, he did. Those Tales of Asgard stories. Oh, God, I love those. And again, look at the difference between a Kirby page, issue number 49, I believe it was, or 50, whatever was right. That was Coming of Galactus. Again, or I love it, but it's still, his earlier, more crude art. I mean, it was a big development between the early issues and up until you get into the issues like issues in the 30s and the 40s and the issue up to issue 50 when all that great stuff was happening. This is still, Fantastic Four #1 by Kirby remains, in my opinion, one of the greatest comics of all time, both story and art-wise. This Man, This Monster is a masterpiece, in my opinion. Do I think that there are things that are missing or gone before he got to it? Oh, yeah, it could be. Oh, absolutely. I mean, he got to a lot, though. So, in terms of these comics, absolutely. His Marvel stuff, yes, because he was becoming very jaded and upset with the way he was treated by Martin Goodman and even Stan Lee. So, after a while, he just kind of he reserved a lot of his ideas and kind of went nuts with him in his Fourth World stuff for DC and his Fourth World titles. So, yeah, he held back from some of his Marvel stuff. He got tired of what he considered to be kind of being stolen from, in a sense. Even I love his mid-70s covers. This is from his era when he went back to Marvel in the mid-70s, He wasn't doing FF Interiors anymore. But, again, to give an example of what he could do in one panel, Kirby could make an action sequence in one panel. Look at that. Look at the dynamism of that. Look at him knocking the Silver Surfer. That's Ben Grimm, for no real good reason, knocking the Silver Surfer. Oh, yeah, Athena. Well, I love issue 200, yes. And that cover has always been such a standout. One panel. That's not even a page, folks. That's a panel. This was issue 55. When Ben got upset because he thought he was going to lose Alicia to the Surfer, and one of those, oh, come on, guys, you just have an excuse to have a superhero fight, but who cares? It was hilarious. It was fun. Wow, that's a bold statement there, Athena. I need to go back and read it now that you said that. Issue 200 is hands down the best Doctor Doom story. Wow, bold statement. I've not read it in about maybe 20 years or 30 years. So, I'm going to go pull that sucker out and reread it now. Nice. Doesn't that one deal with Kristoff? Doesn't that have something to do with Kristoff? It's been so long, Athena. But wow. I want to go back and read that one now. It's been forever. I think it was like Marv Wolfman or somebody, Keith Pollard on the art, if I'm not mistaken, with Senate, of course. Look at that. That's action right there. I mean, to do it in one panel, it's astonishing. 2 panels. Now, even you would not dare attack me. Don't bet on it, kiddo. There ain't nothing I won't tackle where Elise is concerned. Attacking the power cosmic. But if I have a favorite Kirby splash page, it's not even any contest. It's right here. Let's see here. Victor finally sees himself in the mirror, and he hates what he sees. First mentions that his face is disfigured. I'm going to go back and reread that, I promise, Athena. This monster. God, I love this comic. That's an interesting question. Yeah, well, usually there's a credit box. So it's a dead giveaway, usually to tell you who wrote it. Which is why it's so murky when there's other writers' names on his stuff, because he does so much for a story. But let's see, interesting question. Is there some Kirby work that you can tell he didn't write and someone else did? Yes, because see, Stan used to take, as far as plotting, it's a little more murky, but when it comes to the signature type of scripting style, yes, Kirby has often been criticized for his scripting. And it's not like Stan's. Stan's has this strange flair to it, dated though it may be now. It was snazzy. It was very of the time, hip, if you want to use that term. And you can tell a Stan Lee script from a Kirby script long way away. And you could also tell a Joe Simon script from a Lee or a Kirby script. So yes, Kirby's writing style, and he did a lot of his own writing, and even so much so, and I'm talking scripting as well, after he left Marvel, pretty much almost always. So yes, you can tell big time a Kirby script, and a lot of people were very critical. And yes, Kirby scripting was not his forte. As far as a story, hey, Brightest Day, good to see you there. As far as a story is concerned, that's a little bit more of a murky question, because in comics that he has done with other scripters, quote unquote scripters or plotters or writers, a lot of the story is still coming from Kirby. So the only difference is going to be if Stan Lee, because Stan Lee used to, when Kirby would turn in the art after conversations about a plot or whatever, the Marvel method, Stan would add a lot of the captioning and, of course, the scripting and things like that, and he wrote the credit box too. We worked a little bit more closely with Joe Simon, so it's a little bit different. But yes, aside from with Stan, now he did some other stuff. He's worked with other writers, but yeah, I'd say you can tell the difference. And Matthew Pounder, that is correct. A lot, and all these times, Kirby had a lot of dialogue in the margins and everything in his art when he would turn it in, but Stan got final say on whatever dialogue would end up in the captions, in the word balloons and thought balloons, and of course, whatever prose would end up in the captions. So yes, there's a big difference. Again, a lot of the people who are really, really like knee-jerk Stan defenders that don't like you to criticize them at all, one of their go-to is always, well, Kirby couldn't write. Well, he had clunky scripting, and they would always produce kind of a straw man argument where they would produce some definitely examples of clunky scripting, but no more cornball really or awkward. Well, Stan's flowed better, but they were both kind of dated in their writing styles, in a sense, in terms of scripting. But the stories and the plot and the imagination and all, and with it, I think most of that's Jack, and it holds through with whatever Jack does, in my opinion. And that's all it is an opinion. Did you read the story of Jack showing John Romita Sr. or Jr.? Not sure how to do Daredevil action. I know that they used to tell. No, I'm drawing a blank. So if I have, I've forgotten about it, Phantom. So you can, D-Bud. Kirby came up with great plots and characters, but he was not good at character growth in his writing. Stan would add, that is a fair statement. Some of the characterization in terms of the dialogue and the growth stuff came from Stan. Kirby was greater with creating ideas, concepts, plots. Of course, the art goes without saying. And when it comes to characterization, and a lot of characterization does, let's face it, come from dialogue and things like that. Some of that was Stan. Stan could not come up with the crazy, outrageous plot ideas that both Kirby and Ditko and others came up with. I don't think, in my opinion, and it's an opinion, I don't think that was necessarily a strong suit. I think his strong suit was adding certain character elements and developments to the characters. I think that's what Stan excelled at, which is why they made a good team when it came to that. And of course, Stan's other superpower was marketing and being the face of Marvel Comics. No, without him, the promotion stuff just doesn't happen. He was really great at that stuff. That was part of his personality, and he excelled at that. And it was just as important as the creations, because it's like if you have a product, you still need someone to sell it. So Stan participated in honing a lot of aspects of the characters for sure, but also it's pretty important. I mean, if car factories just built cars and they sat there and they didn't have just dealerships and distributors and things like that to put cars around, well, it'd be kind of tough for them to sell their cars or any other product. So you have to have that aspect of it as well. Well, he's not good at scripting thing there. Normie is sort of a lot of people will tell you that was not his forte, not his strong suit. Again, still that's a matter of opinion, but I wouldn't say it was a strong suit either. It's just a lot of people like to use that as a knee-jerk response to anyone criticizing Stan for taking too much credit, which he so much did. So often did. Sorry. Time Outsider specifically, it was Matt. Matt gets a call, changes to DD, and meaning Daredevil, a heads out. So Romita showed the call, has Matt change and go out the window. Jack version gets call, dives out window, changes on the way down, lands on feet. I love it. On two different taxis. Well, look. Hey, Jack's style, wasn't as conducive to Spider-Man, for example, as Ditko was. Things went better having Ditko doing all the heavy lifting on Spider-Man. It's not a book that you would want Jack to really work on that much. Could he do it? Yeah. Would it have been the same? It would not. I don't think it would have been the same. You needed Ditko for Spidey. Kirby was a Golden Age writer. Bill Fingers, Jerry Siegel, all the early writers had rough writing. Well, when Joe Simon and Jack Kirby worked together in the Golden Age before, pre and post war, I think Joe handled a lot of the writing in terms of the scripting and things like that as well. Yeah, well, the only thing we know about Stan Lee's art, Phantom Outsider, is that he drew some posters in the army for venereal disease warning posters and things like that. No one has seen them, to my knowledge, anyway. I don't know if anyone's ever seen them or not. Oh crap! Yeah, but for me, Kirby's style grew over time, and not just on FF, obviously. He didn't do Avengers long enough for it to be on there, or even X-Men long enough, but on FF and Thor primarily, amongst other titles, but it's, especially those. And I don't think I could ever even choose like a favorite. I mean, I'll just give you, as far as a favorite Kirby FF, like panel or page, because there's so many. In fact, I'm going to probably set that up for like next Monday night. I might go with top Kirby covers or something like that, because I've done so many different Kirby topics over the years. It's kind of all running together. But Kirby panels, Kirby pages. I've never done Kirby covers here. Norman says, in all honesty, Kirby's art was so good. To hell with the scripting. Well, your scripting has to build your characters. I'm not discounting the importance of scripting by any stretch, but I will tell you this: I have bought comics that Kirby did later when he was in charge of all of the chores on it. Where even if I didn't, it did help in the sense that even if I didn't think the story was all that much or the character was all that great, I got wonderful Kirby art to look at, because, I mean, my favorite era of his starts somewhere in the mid-'60s and then up into the mid-'70s. That's my favorite style. This flamboyant style of his that doesn't appeal to everyone, the blocky style people complain about with all the lines and all this stuff, is what I love. And I could pick up a Kirby comic, and if I don't even like the story that much, I still have a Kirby comic in my hand. Yeah. No, I know what you mean, though. But actually, that's absolutely true, though. I know you're joking, but yeah. I mean, seriously. Yeah, well, look, D-Bud, dude, that's one of my favorite, splash pages ever. God, Doombots. For no one knows what is best for you except your mighty sovereign, Dr. Doom. Okay, I can't do it. I like the way that guy did it on that mid-'90s FF cartoon. Dr. Doom. Although the guy on Earth's Mightiest Heroes did an okay job as well on the voice of Doom. Yeah. And by the way, sort of, one day, maybe, I think I'm going to get, I think Purple and I have talked about this, and I want to get her back on. She's a big Dr. Doom fan. And we talked about this before. I always wonder what people prefer, which, I like the Kirby explanation that Doom is not all that scarred up, that he's just such a perfectionist. He's got a little scar on his face, and he considers that to be disfigurement. Whereas, Stan and others have said Doom is horribly disfigured, is why he wears his mask. I like the Kirby explanation, to be honest with you. Matthew, I would agree with that. Kirby's writing was at its best on the cosmic stuff, all that purple metaphor. Yeah, for example, he did a lot of I like that one, Jay. I'd say Kirby's writing is better than Stan's art. How's that that's fantastic. You're the man, Jay, man. Steve Mitchum, all right, bro. Just glad you're here, brother. Again, an example right here, and this is just a pinup thing he did. I always love this picture. It's, again, no panels, and look how it's moving. I mean, that's motion. Did any of you ever read Scott McCloud's Understanding comics from the late 80s? Now, I loved it. I loved his work on Zod. I met him once at a con when he was talking about that in the 90s. It was the early 90s, maybe, I think, came out. And he was searching for a term other than comic books to explain, give an idea of what they mean. So he was talking about, sequential art. Will Eisner has a great book. The great Will Eisner has a great art book, a comic book instructional book about a cartooning called Comics and Sequential Art. He's a master. And that's another thing. These new, since there's no Joe Kubert School of Comic Book Art anymore, I don't know if or it doesn't seem to be one. I don't know if anyone's studying any of that or not anymore. But he was trying to come up with all these different explanations for comic books without calling them comic books. Or even, hey, Polymies Minion, good to see you. That's exactly right. Kirby could tell you a story without even putting a word on it. And without even putting a panel on it. Like I said, I mean, he does great panel arrangement stuff. No one does that better either, but I love his big 2-page spreads. But anyway, so he came up with the term, because it is words and pictures, and people say that a lot. McLeod came up with the term juxtapose pictorial images in deliberate sequence. No one's ever going to say that. And we laughed at, and by the way, I like that book. I liked Understanding Comics. It's an interesting book because he's an interesting guy and he's popular. I mean, he's talented. On Doom, let's see. I always thought that was kind of wrong, Clobberin. I think Doom had a tiny scar from the accident, but then really messed himself up when he put on the still hot faceplate. I don't know. I kind of like I just like, because Doom is such an egotist. I like it better with Byrne having just with Doom having the tiny scar. So they are juxtaposed pictorial images in deliberate sequence. Doesn't really roll off the tongue. No one's ever going to say it. But they're that, and they're there to tell a story with words and pictures. Primarily pictures is a visual medium. But I love the fact that some of the greater ones, some of the best cartoonists can do it with limited amount of words. Sometimes they can tell all these great stories. And they can tell a phenomenal story. Sometimes Kirby can do it on a cover. I mean, if you look at this cover, for example, this one here is a fairly simple. Sometimes you have a very simple background list. You know what's going to happen. Silver Surfer's going to fight the Thing. I mean, if you look at this one, I mean, I always love this cover for 47. I love the background of it. And one of these days, we've already had we had the great Steve Mitchum on here. If you're meant to listen to everybody, a shout out to you, telling us a lot about art. We learned a lot of, because he knows a lot about that stuff in composition, and he's an artist in his own right, and he's very instructive. When we talked about Byrne's art one night when he was on here, and we'll have him on again to talk about that. But as someone who doesn't know art, the old I know what I like type thing, but you don't have to be an expert to know if a piece of art speaks to you, and Kirby art always does to me. And I just find it amazing that most of his covers are very busy, and I mean in a good way. Look at this. This has flowing action all over it. Matthew Pounder. Wasn't a fan of Lee's writing. He had a limited vocabulary, so be it tableau. Where's your crying towel? The same words and phrases. Yes, well, he did not go on to write the great American novel as he once thought he might. I'd agree with that, Athena. I love Perez. He was very young when he took over FF, but he is, again, he is great with backgrounds. I love Perez. Some people just erase the damn background, especially when Vince Coletta was thinking. I like the idea of small scar, but he put that red hot faceplate on and then went out into the snow and steam along, messed him up. Well, I got you. I'm just telling you the one I prefer, bud. Way it goes. But I love how busy this cover is. And they even used, I think they even used this cover as in the FF cartoon from the 90s, the second season. Oh my goodness. It was amazing. Um, but it's Kirby's done so much. You would think it would be tough for me to choose, my favorite Kirby work. But no, it's always going to be FF. And again, this is just an example of the power of Kirby on FF. Well, all of his stuff, of course. And it's all. I mean, I'm not saying it's any different in that sense. He does great on everything he does, but some of these covers, again, this is one of the ones from the 70s. Again, when he was already off the book, Perez was on the book and everything. When he went back to Marvel doing covers, again, action-packed cover. It's a cover, not even panels, not even a comic book page. By the way, I love this issue. Roy Thomas, George Perez, just in it. And they are in this comic. Let's see. I must not have been paying attention. Let's see here. See, you like this well, girl, but you put that, okay. And then you got another one there. Okay, let's see here. The thing is, most people use the same words and phrases. See, you need a $5 vocabulary words to normal discourse. And see what I did there? Oh, man. Were you the man, Phantom Outsider? Anyone remember this issue? Jack, and by the way, Stan and Jack and Roy Thomas and Marv Wolfman and George Perez, and I think even like Sal Verpoten or whatever, John Verpoten, sorry, and maybe even Sal. I don't know. They were all in this comic because this issue takes place in Marvel Comics. Anyone remember this one? Yeah, this is one of my favorite. In the later runs of FF. I love this freaking issue. Yeah, I'm sorry. I like the Possible Man. Sue me. But, Kirby on FF, it wasn't all just about, his run. He even did a lot of great covers. But I'm trying to think. So since I have a chat here with people who do love Kirby's, and again, we're sticking on Kirby tonight because it's Kirby month, and of course teaming it up with FF. Do any of you have a favorite Kirby issue? I'm gonna say issue because story obviously, but there's credit to be had from both. Does anyone here have or a favorite Kirby cover? Because we're gonna be doing that soon as well. Again, another example of a really busy Kirby cover. This is actually one of my favorites. If I had to do a list of favorite FF Kirby covers, I would be in trouble. Dan Robinson. Hey, buddy. That's been a coon's age, bud. Good to see you, man. Thoth. Hey, Lord Thoth, what's up, man? You didn't miss a damn thing. I'm just talking a little bit about Kirby FF. Wish you were here, bud. And I'm glad to see you. Good to see you, Dan Robertson, buddy. I hope you're doing well, man. Right there, one cover. Oh, you got that, J-Man? Cool. One cover, and it's telling the story. The magic of Kirby. Yes, MP was OP. As the kids say. You're right about that, Phantom Outsider. He was that. No, you can't argue with you there, dude. J-Man bought it for the cover. Literally bought it for the cover. Oh, there you go. Well, I love that cover. Yep. Issue 50. Well, a great choice. Coming of Galactus. Silver Surfer goes against Galactus for the first time. D-Bud, favorite issue of Kirby. It was 76. It was the first Kirby comic I bought and was hooked right away. I love Psycho Man, by the way. Oh, Normie says that this is what I am talking about. Yeah, cover like this, just amazing. Like I'm just pulling like a bunch of random covers here, but man, Psycho Man. I don't know I don't know what it is about Psycho Man, but what a crazy design of the character, by the way. And there's another thing that you could just do like whole shows on Kirby's design for characters. And now a Kirby page. Last page of issue 49. Remember when Galactus was green and red? Athena, that's right. Yeah. The Malice run. Really? Stan originally wanted Psycho Man to wear a wig and a dress for really? Wow. I don't remember reading about that one, but I don't doubt you. Jesus. Oh, wow, dude. That's crazy. Oh, Stan, let Jack handle the creating stuff. You just put the words on there like you like to do. You know, because we all know Jack came up with the Silver Surfer. Stan did tell some stories out of school how he did, then later he corrected it, at least. But he's been on record on both sides of that, vacillating on both sides of how I created a Silver Surfer. And I said, let's see old Jackson draw this one. Well, you didn't, actually. And later he admits it, that he didn't. But it's neither here nor there. I remember when I created Jack and said, hey, now that I've created you, Jack, let's create a bunch of stuff so I can say I did it. Sorry. I'm sorry. Have you ever seen, I'm not even going to show them here, again, as has been mentioned earlier, so many characters made their debut in FF. Naturally, the flagship comic. Black Panther, I'm sure some of you probably seen the alternate cover to this Black Panther that Jack did. This, I mean, again, they make good decisions to go with this one over the alternate. I'm very pleased as punch that they let me put that up there. The alternate cover. There's this one. And then there's this one. I mean, it's still dynamic Kirby, but this one, I can see why he just didn't really want to go with it, because that one just, This one, however, is classic, and maybe it's because we know it more. It's more familiar. I mean, I don't think so though. This one just works. This is just pops off there. The original with coloring errors, or could Galactus change color at will? I will tell you that it was so he had the short sleeves, and then in the next issue he had short pants until the Marvel Masterworks changed it, recolored it. I remember being really pissed off when I got my first Marvel Masterworks of Coming of Galactus. I guess it was back in the 90s. And they colored pants on them and crap. I'm like, this, don't screw with the comic, jackass. Yeah, Phantom, that's what I was talking about. I remember when I created myself. Sorry. Hey, look, we're being look again. I'm being nice to Stan because it's Fantastic Four month. I'm just see there you go, Stan and Jack. See, but yeah, I poke a little fun at him because I think he tried to hog too much credit and did a lot of stuff. But rest his soul, rest both of their wonderful souls. Don't want to be too mean. Pounder. Wakanda being a technological jungle is pure. Oh God. Way Drew of Wakanda. It's fantastic. I mean, they should have made if they only made it look like that in the movie. But you couldn't do that now, could you? Bop 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 bop. Let's see. Oop 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 oop. Another Kirby. We talked about this one last night, and wow, this is so great. It was on they adapted it on the cartoon. There's Doom for you there, Thoth. I think the first Kirby issue I remember getting was the one with Crystal on the cover, and it's all red. Only she is yellow. I remember she had her yellow outfit. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that one up. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm always terrible with issue numbers anyway. And the Blind Men Shall Lead Them. I love this comic. This is one of my favorite FF covers. One of my favorite all-time comic book covers, really. And again, this was really right around that time when his art started really developing. What a great story. I don't even mind the changes they made in the animated adaptation of this. I thought they were great. I thought they did a phenomenal job with that. But the second season of the magnificent 1990s Fantastic Four cartoon, which I loved, of course, it was absolutely magnificent. A bop bop bop. You want to talk about a cover? I mean, covers again. These spectacular, man. There is no way I'm going to do it. I'm just going to show a bunch of covers, counting down the top Kirby FF covers, or just covers in general. Like if I just picked Kirby covers in general, a ton of them would be FF. Always loved this one. Just a phenomenal cover. Ted Millich, good to see you. Good to see you. We're just looking at some pretty Kirby pictures from Fantastic Four. Talking about some Kirby FF here. Oh, by the way, I believe. Athena, did you mention an issue? I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. Hey, Arwen, good to see you. I think, Athena, you mentioned an issue of FF that you liked. If I'm not mistaken. Issue 50. Okay, you did. I got that earlier. I forgot. I backtracked. I'm old. I forget things. Arwen, love to you. I'm so happy to see you here. I hope you were having a wonderful night, my dear. Thank you so much for popping in. We all love you here. Great to see you. That song was from the first season, Phantom, and it sucked. They did, at least in the second season, they gave it a real nice, like hero-y type of a theme music that didn't have words to it or anything like that. No lyrics, fortunately. Good God. That's first season song. Oh my God. Even as a joke, I won't sing it. Well, actually, I have sang it as a joke a couple times, which is probably not a good idea. Who wants to see a Kirby collage? Who wants to see, well, a Kirby collage combined with, the gang. This is from FF Annual 6, if I remember correctly. And with more damn memory, you never know. There was a picture I was looking for. I wanted to show from an FF issue that I can't. I thought I had it loaded. And I bet it would be tough to Google and find. But I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, man. I think I know how to. You got to know how to Google some of this stuff because weird stuff will come up. Just there we go. If we have to pick greatest, well, forget about it. You can't even pick greatest Kirby pages because you'd be here all century as well. But I'm gonna go with this. If I had to pick a favorite thing page aside from that FF51 splash, okay. It's gonna, and I want to save this one. So type. Sorry about that. Bop. It is this one. Let's stay on that one for a sec. Oh, just setting out. Oh, thank you. Normie, you have a great night. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. We appreciate everybody, for anyone who hangs out with us and comes in there. 81. Okay, I got you. Well, let's see here. Let me get that pick. I think this is probably the page, one of the pages that quite possibly most epitomizes Kirby. And I think John Romita was talking about that. Again, you've got to see that great documentary they did. That is on YouTube. It's FF. You should type in Kirby documentary. And they're talking about, John Romita Sr. talks about this page. He said something along the lines of, he says, Jack, draw him, a building's falling, and have the thing stop it from falling or something like that. You probably all know which one I'm going to pick out. Let's see here. Where are you? I have it, folks. Don't worry, I have it. Just got to find it. I put it way down there. There we go. Okay. This is, in my opinion, one of the greatest comic book pages of all time. One of the greatest. Look at this. I mean, he's just holding up a building is all. Look how busy it is, but look at all the detail he manages to put on this sucker. I've always loved this page for some reason. And again, it's a big, busy sequence of events, and it's one damn page. I got to find that crystal when you're talking about it. I know the cover, but FF81, right? Let's see here. Crystal broke Johnny's heart. You do know that, J-Man. How dare you? How dare you, sir, what that did to Johnny. Come on now. Leaving him for that jackass, the freaking Quicksilver, man. Ain't you ashamed yourself? She was super, super hot, though. She'd break my heart. There you go. That is a great cover. I haven't looked at that in a long time. Let's look at that in Baby Cakes. FF81. It's a great story. I remember it. But again, sometimes you're reading them in a collection and you just forget how great the cover is sometimes. I got to admit, dude, I hate Quicksilver because he's a jackass and because of what he did, because he stole Johnny's girl. It's an immaturity on my part. But everyone likes Quicksilver because, I don't know, he's amusing. But the Quicksilver in the comics is a total a-hole. which I guess is why people like him. If you stop and think about it for a second, right? Let's see where you at. Where are you? No, I had the damn thing. Should have made it easier to find. Should have made it easier to find. Let's put it under numbers, man. Put it under numbers. Put it under numbers. Sorry, everyone. I had that crystal cover, and boom. It ain't here. Well, what happened? Oh, I see why it didn't here. Didn't load. Oops. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way, folks. Bop, bop, bop. There we go. Get that off of there. Johnny will be okay. Yeah, he will. I can't argue with that, dude. I want to find I want that cover in my collection. I have copies of it. You know what I mean? That scan of it's really good, but it won't load. Let's go with the old mycomicshop.com version. How about that? FF's Chris. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, we're just sitting around talking about Kirby. We're not doing anything specific. Just a bunch of geeks geeking out about geekness. So, yeah, but Johnny's been messed up. Look what happened with him. Galactus screwed him over. Zax, how you doing there? Good to see you, man. Galactus took his girl. What's that link? Oh, there you go. Actually, I think I got it now, man. But that's probably we may have used the same link there. Chris, thank you, Chris Perser. You always all there, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah. Yep. There you are. There you go. There you go. Yeah. You are, when you're right there, Jay, man. This is one of the, I love the cover. I love that cover. Okay. What's up, bud? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Yeah. Well, this one has Kirby Crackle on it. It's got the wizard. And, this was the time Sue was pregnant, of course. And, Crystal was a good addition to the team, But she didn't break Johnny's heart, but she broke it. And screw Quicksilver, he's a jerk off. I think they just didn't want Johnny to be happy, man. They really didn't. And look, Reed had his problems with Sue, even in the Kirby run, a little bit. But come on, man. Okay. Another example of a great, busy Kirby cover that just tells you so much. Again, I didn't mean this necessarily to be about Kirby covers. It was about Kirby FF. But it's just, this is Kirby month to show how the man could tell a story with one picture. When some couldn't do it in 10 pictures. And now Sue's an FF uniform. Oh, Ida. Um, Crystal broke up with Johnny. Nova left Johnny. That's right. Nova, left him. She was Frankie Ray, became Nova because of Galactus, and Johnny married a Skrull without knowing it. He had trouble. You're absolutely right. Oh, what number's that one? Let's see here. 89. That's 89, J-Man. One of the times the Mole Man came back. The first one bringing the Mole Man back had a different cover, of course. To be fair, yes, Quicksilver is a jerk, but to him, everything in life is like being at the DMV. Imagine, Peter David actually wrote a pretty good story about why Quicksilver is such a jerk. because we needed a story for the excuse, I guess. And I can't, for the life of me, remember exactly where that is. Which one that was now. So forgive me on that one. But by the way, folks, Marvel Comics is doing such a great job of celebrating the FF. This is what they'll be doing. They're going to have a bunch of artists redraw this issue. Aren't you excited? A bunch of different artists who aren't Kirby redrawing a classic like that. I mean, I can tell you're excited. Yeah. I mean, wow. Who does, Actually, as early covers go. Oh, wait. I love that. How about some, by the way, before we do that, we should, we've been looking at a lot of covers. We should go to some, let's look at some Kirby Machine. Let's look at some pages again. There's nothing quite like a Kirby Machine. This was around the time when he really started going crazy with his machines. Remember, the Skrull was disguised as Alicia. That's another thing. Johnny being, I left the book. I was so pissed at a lot of things that were going on FF at the time, and having Johnny. First of all, I was sick of it. I mean, I was kind of aggravated with what was going on with Byrne was doing with the book anyway. And then Byrne left. I don't know if it was Englehart who did this thing with the Skrull or whatever, or Englehart or DeFalco. I can't remember. It could have been one of those guys. But Alicia and with Johnny, even though we found out later, for the longest time, we thought Johnny, Alicia had thrown Ben over for Johnny. It sucks. A lot of shitty characterization went on at that point, in my opinion. But we're in Kirby's FF, so to dying anyway. I can't remember the name, Chris, of the Skrull lady that Johnny pretended to be Alicia, but ugh. I mean, they could suck it. That was some really crap years. In my opinion. Hey, I got beat. I forgot to turn my phone down. Let's see here. Zip, 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 zap, zap. Kirby page. We've been looking a lot of covers and of one panels. And then when you get down to it, he was just such an amazing cartoonist. With a page, he could tell. I mean, he could do it with one picture. Imagine this many. From this band, this monster, this one right here. DeFalco, thank you, Athena. Athena knows. There you go. I dropped, to be honest, at that point, I liked Byrne's first couple of years when he was trifecta on the book, meaning he was writing, scripting, and unfortunately inking, which should be illegal for John Byrne to ink himself. In my humble opinion. Yes, J-Man. He did do Kirby did do 2000 Space One a Space Odyssey. He also did a spin-off title of that called Machine Man. That's absolutely right. And I'll be talking about some of that soon. The in Kirby month. But I left. I liked the first couple of years of the Burn Run. Then I left the series, and when that was going on with all the Alicia and Johnny stuff and all that kind of crap, and when I guess Englehart wrote it for a while, and when DeFalco took over all that stuff, I left it. I had stopped it. I wasn't buying it anymore. I was sick of what was going on with it. I have a lot of friends who like the DeFalco run. That's fine. I just never wanted to go back to it. I didn't like any of the stuff they were doing. And I would go back. Well, I would go look at it sometimes. And I just go, nah. Not really what I want to see. Just me. I just, if you're still enjoying those, fine. Just for me, I was kind of tapped out, to be honest. Oh my goodness. But there are a lot of runs I didn't like as much. And is it, are you spoiled if you find yourself even maybe inadvertently holding it to the Kirby standard, the Kirby Lee standard, the series? Could be, but there were other good runs on the series, on the FF. So I don't know. I guess so. And as much as I have problems with Mark Waid, Matthew Pounder, I liked Mark Waid's first run. That was a time where I did go back for a while. I love Machine Man also. Absolutely. Indeed. Oh, yeah. I love me some Kirby machines. J-Man, thank you, buddy. You got to run. Always appreciate seeing you here, sir. Love this cover. Simple but effective. Tells a little bit of a story. Tells you what you're doing there. Bop, bop, bop. For some reason, one of my favorite of the early covers was this one. Because again, as the style developed and changed, but early on, I always loved this cover. Again, this is a cover telling you a story right there. What you doing, Mark D with the C? You should come hang out with me for a few minutes. Just kidding. I wouldn't keep you for hours like you did to me the other night when we ruined your show about 3D. We did, didn't we? Oh, man. The first meeting that started the iconic Thing Hulk battles, the Thing Hulk rivalry. I'm sorry, folks, outside of maybe Superman, Captain Marvel, because of the things, how that was a battle even outside of comics itself. Outside of that one, there's no bigger comic book rivalry. No bigger one. One of the earliest issues I got to read outside, of course, reading number one, like I think that one of those Fireside Those Fireside trade paperbacks of the 70s. Man, we talked a little bit about this one yesterday. Bringing back Namor. Sorry, Steve Mitchum, Namor. It was an accident, man. It was an accident. It was an accident. Oh, you're in the middle of playing a game there, dude? Sorry, I didn't mean to bug you while you're playing a game. Send that to you anyway, just in case, if you get a chance. Won't be, not much, going much longer. What a great story this was. And again, yesterday when we were celebrating the FF, this is what. Let's see here. FF issue number 5 tells a great story of being Doctor Doom's first appearance. It does. I don't know if I have. Let's see if I have 5. Do you have 5? 5. Where's 5? Man, come on, 5. I thought I had it too. I had so many FF pictures loaded, it's ridiculous. You'd think I would have 5 up here. Well, damn it. I thought I had 5 up here. I do have a fun panel, a fun page, though, from... Hey, bud.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Not much. All right, man. No, just what's going on, dude? How you been tonight?
No, just enjoying the show, and then I've been
thanks,
bugged. I've been not able to win in Fortnite, and I had a pretty bad performance last night. Eric K was saying I was much better at dying than killing people, so
oops.
I've been practicing.
That was last night?
Last night, yeah. So I finally got my, I love listening to the show, so I was, you're playing a game, it's, mindless entertainment, so I was just playing that while listening, and finally got a solo win with
dude. Well, yeah, I mean, I've been chasing that body away by just doing nothing but showing covers and stuff like that. So,
no, those are some great cool covers. One of my favorite ones was Black Panther number 7, and that was actually one of the comic books that I'd mentioned the other day that my grandfather had brought home from the comic book shop or the newsstand to me. So, I still remember getting that as a kid. So I don't know if you can Google that one to find that.
You mean Black Panther number 7?
Yep, the solo series. Yep, that was a really cool cover. Yep.
Well, I probably have it somewhere. We're kind of doing FF Kirby tonight, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true.
But I could find it probably.
Yeah,
we could find it. We can't hurt to find it. I have had most of that series. I think now I have like reprints of that. I have a couple of those trades of Kirby's Black Panther run.
Yep.
Oh, I always love this cover here. Boom, boom, boom. Again, telling a story with a cover. Let's see here. Lord Thoth, man, good to see you, bud.
Yeah,
I don't know why Hulk only has 3 toes on that one, Matthew Pounder. Maybe we should investigate. Let's see here. He does.
Good catch.
You got me, man. I looked at that cover a bazillion times and even. I don't know, man. You got me, bud. Wow. Oh, shite. Well, hey. Black Panther. See, Kirby's Black Panther run was weird for a lot of people because, it's after, he went back to it and he did create the character, of course. He went back to it. Oh, yeah, I love that cover. In the 70s, and the character had all these serious stories that they'd done with him. and then they turn around and do this, like bring him back to more of the kind of a more of the comic book type, the comic that he had started in, really.
Yeah,
which is fine with me. But it was over the top like comic stories as opposed to all those serious stories they were doing with him back then. And they were doing serious stuff with him. Yeah.
But as a 8-year-old kid or 10-year-old kid, I just remember getting that. I'm like, who's Black? You don't know anything about comics, and there's no internet, and it's not like you can. There were no comic book stores near me, so I'm like, who's this Black Panther character? This really cool character. So, and the art, just that cover, just reaches out. Yeah, like you've been saying, there's motion in that cover. It's almost like it's animated, right? You can visualize him jumping out, to protect the village right there. So it's it's amazing.
Absolutely. And if you since we're talking about like just go like a potpourri here, like a just Kirby FF. Watch out, I'll put Fantastic Four Kirby.
Yep.
And there'll be so many wonderful images. I mean, it'll be it's easier than just loading one picture at a time and stuff like that usually. Oh man, the dynamism and all that stuff. It's just, hey, Catman, D.D. Myers, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Let's see here. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, look what it comes up with. It's like, it's just crazy.
Classics.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Some of you been showing. Yeah, obviously you're showing that one, the 2-page spread before in the middle. Yeah, which is amazing. That one of Ben climbing or crawling towards you. That's just another great image.
Yeah, this is from the second part of "And a Blind Man Shall Lead Them," I believe. Oh, we got some. And this is from that what if? That's Kirby? That's Kirby drawing himself as the thing. Yeah. Oh, Jack. I mean, I have this. Do I have this one or do I have the Jack Kirby? This is the one I got. I think Artist Edition. No, yep. Artist Edition.
Artist Edition. Yep.
For IDW, the hardcovers. Well, those are beautiful. This thing's. It's got a bunch of stories in there. They ain't cheap now. Yeah, but I had to have at least one. I think there's another one.
And a couple of omnibuses are coming out next month. I saw too, volume 3 and 4 of the FF. So if anyone wants to pick up those, I think they're about $90 on Amazon pre-order. They ain't cheap, but they're I think it's issues. They're going from 60 to 90 and 90 to 110 or something like that. So that's if you don't like. I don't really like digital that much, but I can see why people do. But I always like having the flipping pages. But those omnibuses are really great, and they have a lot of background on the art and the stories and the characters as well too. So they're always a good read for that purpose.
Yeah, I love this cover, by the way.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
it's just man.
You can picture the whirlwind, spinning, the vortex just spinning around, taking you in,
Yep. And that was, of course, Bertha Franklin Richards.
And if you've ever tried to draw, I can't draw. I draw a little bit. I took some art classes as a kid, and then I could copy things, and I would draw the thing and copy them. I still have some of the, my crummy, attempts. But then trying to draw something totally freehand and making it look different is, another thing entirely. Then you start. Well, I'm going to do a scene, and it doesn't come out, looking so well. But there's an eye and a visualization there where you got to look at the scene and say, how are you going to convey that too? If you told me on a piece of paper draw analysts and FF and spin, and I'd have. How the heck would I do it? I don't know. That's his brilliance or his genius to come up with a small panel that captures all that stuff. So it's amazing.
Oh yeah, something's having some tech issues here. Something's wrong with my
your mouse or your
my YouTube. A YouTube issue, but I'll get that sorted out later.
Well, hopefully everyone can still hear us, right?
Oh yeah. That's not that.
Yeah.
Not that. Yeah. So let's see some of these other covers here. Well, that's a bird one there, of course.
Yeah.
Let's see. Love those opening. Love the covers.
Then the splash page. Yep.
Let's see. Sorry about that, everyone. I was having a bit of an issue that kind of popped up on me. I showed this cover earlier. Oh, look, a bunch of covers.
That's a Kirby collage.
Oh,
covers.
yeah, of covers. That's an omnibus, right?
Yeah,
that's an omnibus.
That's the back of the omnibus, I think. Yep. The one to the left, I think that's the. If you go back to the left one page, that's the back cover of the omnibus. Go down. And then
that's the back cover.
So that's the back
yeah.
cover. Yeah, so it shows you all the. I don't know if that's number one or is that. Yeah, that's number one, right? Yeah. The first omnibus, volume one.
Is that the first one? Oh.
It looks like it from the little cover pictures, but right? Is that issue number one in the top left corner?
Yes,
I think
so.
My eyes are not what they once were, so I think so. Yeah, yeah. And they get their uniforms in the third issue, there, right? Yeah, that must be a number. I can go grab mine in the bookshelf.
I think it is.
Oh yeah, it says collects Fantastic Four 1 to 30 and annual number 1. Yep, on the bottom. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a must buy for any Kirby fan.
Absolutely. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, I was having a bit of a. Sorry, everyone. I was having a bit of a YouTube issue. I'll have to fix it later. Yep. First appearance of the birth of Franklin Richards. That's right. Okay, where were we? Sorry about that, everybody.
Number 6, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Always love this cover.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Again, I've talked myself out of doing a top Kirby covers, at least Kirby FF covers. I'm just going to do all covers. That might even be even worse.
Well, on your show the other day, we showed covers 1 through 103, right? Pretty much in order. We talked about them. So
all of them?
The FF covers. Well, we did. Yeah, we pretty much went. Didn't we go through, or maybe 1 through 50? I mean, we did show a ton of covers. Crusader, wasn't he called Marvel Boy at one point too?
We did show a lot of covers.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was based on a character called Marvel Boy. Here's the one I think D-Bud, I think you were talking about earlier. Oh, damn! It's a little picture of it. Of
pick up the machine.
The thing, picking up that machine. There's a different one. Come on there. I want a big picture. There we go. That's decent. If somebody wrote on it. I wanted to find a good one of the.
A nice big one, yep.
Yeah. Oh well. What can you do?
And I remember the first time seeing Ben with the weightlifting bench too, or that Mr. Fantastic or Reed had made for him. I don't remember the issue, but and then the must have been Kirby that did it too. But I love being a science engineering nerd that cut away the Baxter Building with all the plans and what was in the Baxter Building, and they had the rocket and then the Fantastic Car and all the details. I loved reading those as a kid too.
Yeah. Crazy. What the hell's wrong with this damn thing?
So what's it not switching on you? Or?
Well, I thought it had everything fixed, had the super chats back on, and now they're not.
I'm seeing a super chat icon. Let's see.
You are? Okay, I'm not.
Yep.
I'm not asking you when to get one. I'm saying it's not. No. When I clicked on, and it's not there.
Nope, it's there for me. Yep.
Weird. Okay.
All right, everyone, donate right now to test.
No, don't you dare!
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm joking. I know you don't like that.
They know I'm kidding.
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying. I don't think. Okay. Oh, that was the one? Okay, good. No, I wasn't asking for that promise, everyone. Just that this thing, I had a problem with my monetization thing, YouTube's account and stuff like that, and they had it fixed. Now, you're not cheap. Look, you're here. You're giving me something by being here. I know you. And I know you were just kidding, dude. But what I'm saying is, I thought it wasn't working. I mean, I thought it was. I had a big problem with my monetization thing. They cut it off, and we thought we had it fixed today. And I turned my thing on, and it showed it on there. Now I just pulled it up, and it's not showing it. So, not that I care, but if the icon's there,
the icon's there for me. So,
fine.
Let me refresh my browser, and that's good. If I know you're not, you don't like that kind of stuff, but sometimes people do want to, tip you a beer or buy a piece of pizza, that kind of thing.
It's always appreciated. I'm just trying to get the thing fixed. So,
yep. Well, hopefully it'll stay on for the rest of the show. Yep.
Yeah. Look at that page. Good God.
Yeah, with the crackle and the electricity there.
Galactus.
I hunger.
Man, I tell you what. I think when I do the Kirby covers, I'm just going to do all Kirby. And I don't know, half of them might be Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do 100. Hey, Chris Persia, you did not have to do that, dude. I was testing the thing. Now I'm going to feel like I asked him to do it. Chris Persia, thank you so much. I wish I could super chat Chris Persia because that dude does so much. You know what? I'm going to come up with a way to super chat wrenches.
Yeah.
Especially Chris. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Yep.
When I pulled it up, it wasn't on there.
Now I'm in trouble for suggesting. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, you're not.
I know.
It was my fault. I was just panicking because we spent all day trying to fix it.
Oh God. Yeah. Then if it disappears, then especially when you do something, you think it's fixed and it goes bad again. So.
Yeah.
Like a car that you can't get to work. Like my daughter's car today. She's like, Dad, she's away in vacation in Jersey. It's making a really loud noise. Can you listen to it? Of course, with the power of the internet now. So I'm like, Nicole, take it to a mechanic. It sounds like the valves or something. And the car's got, over 100,000 miles. But so she's like, I don't want to keep fixing it. So it's the same, when you work on something and it goes bad, it's frustrating.
Yeah. We've been having so many problems with it. This thing, but I hear what you say, Zach. You got to get it, and I didn't want Raquel to sweat it because we had so much trouble with it the other night after the show. I didn't even know about it Saturday night until Eric asked me about it.
Yeah, you didn't know. Yeah, a couple of people had in the chat had asked about donated, and
I had no idea.
Super check. Yep, and I wasn't sure. I didn't know either, obviously. So I was like, "What happened?" Yep. Oh, Steve, thanks for saying that. It says my voice is calm and you should be in hostage negotiation. Well, I don't know about that, but thank you very much.
It should. You are. I agree with him there. But see, I just I didn't. I guess because I'm so dumb with checking my checking my other email address so much. That's why I didn't know about it. So
okay, yep.
Yeah. There's Herbie.
Hey, and that's my icon here. So we got to go to that issue, right? Thing is Blackbeard.
But and see, this was who were we talking about this yesterday? How we're talking about how this story from 236 says it claimed it had an original Kirby story in it. This was something he helped storyboard for that dumbass Herbie cartoon in the late 70s.
That's the story behind it, yeah.
Kind of. It was sort of based on FF number 5.
Okay. Yeah, because FF number 5 was
first Doom.
Doom, okay, yep. So going back in time. Yeah, so 236, it's been a while since I read it, but doesn't he go back in time? He ends up becoming Blackbeard by the end of the issue, or
yeah. And that's of course your icon.
Yeah.
Your icon? No, that's from a Joe Jusko. No, excuse me, Earl Norham. That's from a storybook they did of the FF with Earl Norham.
Okay.
Hey, Captain is Deckard a Replicant Spock. I'm finally learning how to say your name properly, dude. Don't you change it now. Hey, I'm serious, man. You change your name again, and I can't do anything to you, so just Take it as bluster, my friend. It is good to see you. Oh, but I was honored enough to be on with Doomcock last night, and that whole decorative replicant thing came up again.
Yeah,
of course, it always does, and he's made. Doomcock says he is a replicant, and he made a video on it and everything. Don't ever change, Captain. Right. Catman, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate you. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I'm not doing any work at all. I'm just hanging out with friends, talking, geeking around, buddy. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And I always, we appreciate everyone who pops in here, and we have a great time, especially on Saturday Night Star Trek. We've got through a real bad patch with that because the next couple episodes, for the most part, well, not all of them, but
Conspiracy is one of my favorites.
We're doing a little bit better. Yeah.
Oh, Chris Persia says he's got to head out.
Chris, thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for that super sticker, and you're the best. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. I tell you, I wish. We all know a lot of the gang, in terms of a lot of fun great YouTubers are going to Vegas this weekend. Our buddy Loki, who popped in earlier, he's going.
Oh, great!
And I tell you what, if I had been able to swing it somehow, I would have driven there. I would have driven all the way.
It's gonna be a fun time. Yeah, I can't go, but it looks like a lot of fun. I will be at Comic-Con in New York this year, as long as that's on. So
there you go.
I'll be there in October. So I don't know if anyone's in the crew is headed out there for Comic-Con, and hopefully it'll happen with the vid making a comeback. But I've already got the tickets lined up to go one day. So, and that's always, the fun of Comic-Con is not so much the panels are fun and things, but just hanging out with like-minded people. That was just so much fun. Every time you do that. And 2 years ago was the last time I got. Obviously, everyone's pretty much gotten to do that. So that was a great, and some of the, they do have some great vendors that are there too. Some of the old school vendors with just boxes of cardboard, filled with comics. So.
Yeah. I could have stayed with you, Steve Mitchell. Dude, I wouldn't want to put you out like that, buddy. But I couldn't. I'd still have to be able to get there and all that stuff. But you know what, bro? I'd have definitely hung out with you, and I'd have stayed with you. But man, you don't have room for me. I take up a lot of space, bud. But hey,
a lot of rocks.
It would have been great to come out there, bud, because we could have went hanging out, man. So there's a con in Salt Lake City in 2 weeks. I probably won't go. Jamie Farr will be there, and he's a comic fan. I didn't know that. And I did not know Jamie Farr was a comic book fan. Cool.
From MASH.
Farr MASH.
Yep.
Cleaner. Yeah. Coolness. Yep. Wow. Well, there you go. Dude, I would have definitely stayed with you, but I felt bad about putting you out like that, Steve. But bro,
Well, that's what friends are for,
Yeah.
Take advantage when friends offer. I've learned, when they're not, they want to do it because they want to help you out too, or help, have, and it's fun too. So I always tell my buddies, hey, you're coming this way. Don't stay in a hotel, stay with us. So it's a lot of fun.
I used to, for up until a few years ago, I've told you this before, I used to go to Dragon Con it's Labor Day weekend every year. And I would go there for something like 20 something years straight, except for 2008 because of a hurricane. And in 2012, my son and I went, and we had to leave a couple of days early because of, another hurricane. Hurricanes always come around Labor Day. Always. We've got some bad ones out there right now. We're getting into hurricane season down here.
It's scary.
It's just every time I think about it, oh God, please, not another one, because we're getting some horrible weather here lately.
Yeah.
So we're looking at some pretty bad boys out there. And anyway, we went one year. We had to leave a couple of days early. And my buddy Michael Retro Blasting, said, he called me up. And when I got there, we talked. He said, well, you know what? Just when we'd known each other for a year. We met the year before. This was like 2012. He said,
didn't know him as well, yeah.
But still, he said, because it's a hurricane, I'll forgive you this time. But it's not easy because you should have stayed with me instead of a hotel. I did not want, you were definitely welcome. I felt, oh, well, dude, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I've stayed with him before, many years, a few times after that. But that one time, I just don't like to impose on someone, But I did love staying with them. They're great. I love my retro blasting buddies.
No, it's always fun. As long as I don't stay too long, right? Just kidding. But yeah, friends.
No.
Can I stay for 3 weeks? No, a week.
Yeah. No. Well, no. A weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that. It has to be like for an event or something. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I love this Doom cover right here.
Yeah, it's classic. Yeah.
Oh man. Yep.
Yeah, Doom's above everyone else, right? He's the monarch. He's the ruler of Latveria. So it's just amazing. Yeah, and that's just he's a giant. The Fantastic Four. As powerful they are, they just look so scared and down on the. Was that when Doom captured them and they were in the castle? And I'm trying to remember
Wasn't this the issue before or after the one where he put him on some kind of mine thingy or whatever? One of those
and they all.
Like a prisoner episode. So there was like a homage to the prisoner in a sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Similar to that. I can't remember. I know Byrne ripped it off for 236.
Yeah, it gets all the issues get jumbled together after a while, but that could be. Yep.
Yes, Ted Millich. There's one out there now. I've not been keeping track of it. There's always this time of year. There's always about 2 or 3 tropical depressions trying to be hurricanes and heading right from as a friend of mine used to say, "Oh no, there's a hurricane that's heading straight for my left nipple." Spock says, Clubby, if you're ever in NZ, hit me up. We'll take a thank you there, Captain. I will do that, man. You're on. I would love to go to New Zealand, man. I would love to go there. I've always wanted to go there.
That'd be amazing to travel there. Yep.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, well,
actually, my
dad man said,
"Yeah, that's too nice."
The smooth voice of Mark G with a C, Light FM with your host Mark G with a C.
Let's spend
some Barry Manilow. Sorry,
let's spend some top 40, right? Or top 44. But actually, one of my cousins is actually going to Tulane University 3 days before the hurricane hit down there. And a crazy story, not the sidetrack, but a crazy story was he got dropped off. He had a few bags, and then his mom, called down or was was leaving, and brought him down. And there was a nurse who said, "You can't let him go to school. He's got to, get out of there. He can't stay there." So this person that she didn't know was able to get him out and get him to a flight and get him back home. Total stranger, just took it upon herself to help my cousin out. So, and unfortunately, then he was in engineering, and then they when the hurricane hit, they shut down the engineering. The school obviously was shut down for a while, but then they decided to close the engineering program. So we had to go find another totally different school to go to. So unfortunately, get to experience New Orleans. But it just shows you there's some really great people out there. Some really friendly people that put themselves out to help a complete stranger. So
absolutely. You know what else it shows? What else it shows? That you're a Yankee because you said New Orleans.
Yep. New Orleans. Yep.
Sorry, man. I had to.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
You damn Yankees always say New Orleans.
I'd like some Bennett's there, please. And
some big nits. You know somebody big nits.
And what did Mr. Furley say in Three's Company? Escargots, filet mignon, and escargots. It was Jack was telling him I was cooking. Yeah. Oh God.
You're excused for it though.
Yep.
Yeah, Radar. I always loved it on Radar. Well, MASH when Radar would have like copies of Avengers and comics and shit that came out like 10 years after that war. Remember that?
Well, we all thought as a kid when MASH came out, we all thought it was the Vietnam War. And what did we know as little kids, right?
No one you'd ever heard anyone talk about Korea. My dad was in Korea, but I mean, no one really thought about Korea. And that show lasted far longer than that war did.
Yeah, well, someone had mentioned or asked a question about Kirby's War Service. And I found too a lot of vets, back in the day would never talk about their service, and so I've got to watch that Kirby documentary you were talking about before. But like I found like next door neighbor to my grandparents, they when they passed away, I found out like Mr. I won't use the last name, but well, it doesn't matter. Mr. Roman, no one's gonna know what that kid is. He was like this nice, gentle guy, and we always said, oh, well, he's kind of a wimpy guy. He seems, and the guy was on an invasion of Normandy. You find out what you read is not that we picked on him. We said, oh, he's doesn't seem like such a tough guy or whatever. And then his wife was in the Women's Air Corps. You find, but they would never I saw him all the time. Would never mention anything with service whatsoever or anything that happened at all. It just shows you that how great that generation was. The people weren't looking for credits. I'm sure that, but it did obviously affect people. So I've got to check out that Kirby documentary.
Yeah, Kirby at War is a wonderful documentary. I guess it's truly. Man, I loved it. I think I want to watch it again. Like I said, as I'm told, it is still on Amazon Prime. I hope so. I don't know, but yeah, this is the first issue of that one we were talking about earlier with Doom, where he captured them or whatever. As D-Bud says, yes, it's from that prisoner-inspired story arc where Doom brainwashed them to think their powers were gone or whatever. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it's a scary. I mean, that looks like a tale out of nightmares, though, right? And then the. Didn't Magneto brainwash the X-Men at one point too? So Claremont maybe got that idea. That was around issue in the mid-teen, 115 or somewhere around there. It was a classic X-Men run. You wonder if
I think he used Mastermind to do that, didn't he? But I can't really remember.
Yeah, maybe not. Cover where they made them think they were young kids or something. That's my memory, but something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
You wonder if they get the idea from but everything is borrowed and rehashed.
But most of those guys will tell you they wanted to be Kirby, and I mean they'll just flat out tell you. Like I said, you also to watch that, as I mentioned earlier. Hey, Eric K, what's up, bud?
Hey, Eric K.
He's going to Vegas, man. I wish I was going there, brother. Good to see you, man. Go ahead and say you had something to tell him.
No, I was just gonna say, have a great time out there, Eric. And I did finally get my first win in Fortnite, so I did.
Nice.
Not die. We were joking earlier. I was getting too good at dying. So.
A lot of that documentary. Again, all you have to do is go to YouTube and type in a Kirby documentary or something like that. Or something like that. I think. And it's a great one about Kirby, and they're all talking about him, and I like that one a lot too. But yeah, Kirby at War, that Kirby documentary. Oddly enough, I think it was on the DVD. I don't know if it was maybe the Blu-ray if they did one later of Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. They had the special features are better than the movie. They had like a Fantastic Four documentary.
Oh, it was on there?
It's either the Fantastic Four documentary that was on there, which is also you can find. It's a good one on YouTube. I know that's on that Blu-ray, I believe, or DVD. And then there's the Kirby one might be separate. I may be getting them confused. I'd have to check.
I gotta check my disc because I do own those. So,
let's see here. I'd have to go to YouTube and just search it.
But it is on Amazon Prime, but you have to rent it for $3.
Kirby at War?
Yeah, I just put it in. Yep.
Oh man, it was free when I watched it. It was one of it's on YouTube.
But maybe it's on there. But $3 isn't bad.
No. No, it isn't bad. But it used to be free. Damn it.
Yep.
Complete. Well. Yeah. Now, here's the one though. You should. I'm going to put a link. I'm going to get a link to this. This is a great Kirby. I was just rewatching this one again. Jack Kirby, Storyteller, full documentary. Bop. Let me put the link out there. Okay. Yeah. I highly recommend this Kirby documentary, everyone. It's really good. And they interview a lot of the greats, so. Now, again, I think this one's on that FF thing. I'm not sure, but it's also a pretty good Fantastic Four documentary on here as well. I think if you just type, there you go. If you just type Fantastic Four documentary, that might be the one that's on Rise of the Silver Surfer.
On YouTube, okay, yep. Well, it's on Silver Surfer, yep.
The Kirby Continuum. That's about an hour long. The Kirby Continuum site has this one, but I'll put that in the link as well. Up. If you just want to see a cool Fantastic Four one.
Well, there's actually a Chris Claremont's X-Men Prime video. There's also Superheroes and Never-Ending Battle. I think that was the PBS series. And of course, there's some
I remember that.
stuff in there. Yep.
What book are you referring to there, Eric? You said I bought this book on Clobberin's recommendation. What book would that be? I'm not sure what book you're talking about there, bud. Man, I'm just so bummed I didn't get to go to Vegas. That would have been so much fun. And you know, I don't drive I don't fly anywhere. I would have happily driven there from Baton Rouge and love it. I love that kind of stuff. Oh man, I love this Kirby, the Silver Surfer shot right here.
Yep.
Man.
Well, the Silver
Kirby
Surfer statue I have is based, almost looks like that cover. So the Bowen statue, you wonder if they, it looks like it's copied, or, you know, some of the statues and things.
Nice. Oh, he used the brain scrambler to make, which made him unable to use motor skills. Storm was almost able to escape due to her skills. Okay, cool.
Oh, that was the one I was thinking about. Yep. Like, yeah, Phantom, he knows it. Yep. He's got it. Yep. Yeah, the robot nanny. That's right. Yeah, that creepy robot nanny that would go take care of him. Yeah, that was such a scary episode, or issue, I should say. Yep.
Oh yeah, he means this book. Where's my picture of it? This one. I gotcha. Great book, man. I hope you enjoy it. I love it. The other one was a little tougher to get in physical form, but you can get a download if you can't find it. I don't know. You might be able to. Lee Kirby Wonder Years might be expensive now. But well, cool, Eric. You got to let me know what you think about it, man. Great book. I love it. And I got the expanded, you know, like the expanded version, or the like extended version that was had some corrections. I think the corrected version. So,
yep.
But let's see here.
Well, here's the documentary I found on YouTube. I don't know if you posted it before, but
I posted a link.
Guessing this. You had the link. Okay, yeah. At Kirby's Storyteller.
Yep, that's it. I put a link in there.
Yeah.
That I recommend, folks. That's a really nice documentary about Kirby. And again, the Fantastic Four one is also a really good one. Tell you about that, and I showed a little bit of that thing I showed a snippet of at the beginning of the show yesterday. That's from the Fantastic Four documentary.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just added that to my watch later.
Yeah, cool. They're pretty good. So both of them are good. Now again, it might be that FF one that is on there on that disc that I'm thinking of on your Rise of the Silver Surfer disc, I believe.
That's why it's great to have, you know, DVDs are going away eventually, I think, but unfortunately I love them, but you're going to lose all those special features and things that like the R&Bs of the world work on, and, you know, the nerds and geeks that love, you know, going into extra details. That's one of the best things about buying a Blu-ray or DVD. So it's at least you've got YouTube now it seems like they've got some of those special features there, but it's few and far between now that you have like a, you know, special collector's edition disc or DVD. So
yeah,
something you miss. Yep.
Love you, Raquel. Good to see you. Good to see you, my dear.
Thank you, Raquel.
Always love this page. Again, going back to what we were talking about, a Kirby. There's no. I think in that. I think in the Kirby one, I think it's either Barry Windsor-Smith or Walt Simons. What I'm saying, he says, Kirby, it's impossible for Kirby to draw an uninteresting page. Everything has something going on.
Right.
I always love this one right here. So Mason Ben's like not happy, but actually this one, we were talking about this one yesterday. Iconic cover right there. That's
another great one. Yep. We keep saying the same thing over and over. It's great. And then that's the one that's used in a lot of your artwork.
Yes.
People
Yes.
pull out Ben from that one and use it on different images. So that's a classic. And actually, I did the same thing. I pulled it out off the cover and I redrew his elbow because his elbow's blocked by the character. Who's that? Is that? I can't tell who that is in the bottom right hand corner, but
the monster, basically sort of like a monster from a Black Lagoon type thingy. Or whatever, if I remember right.
But he's blocking the thing's elbow or arm there. So I pulled him out and then redrew that. Just on Photoshop you can clone and copy and recreate the arm there.
Yeah. The covers alone. Yeah. Which one we were talking about yesterday? Lord Thoth's probably not here anymore, but there's some Doom and some Surfer for him on that one.
Yep.
How many times did Doom steal the Surfer's powers? And then
too many.
Well, he did it the first time, then was it Galactus got up and came back and kicked his ass or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense too, right? When you think of how's Dr. Doom going to be able to fight anyone like that, it's
no.
And he's got to steal, he's going to steal the powers. So, and the FF movie had that idea right. It just just poor execution, bad writing, bad, everything. But I thought they nailed the Silver Surfer physically. I thought Doug Jones is phenomenal as a surfer.
But it was just so stupid. Cloud Galactus is stupid enough, but he just flew up into him and beat him. Like, wait a minute. I guess he could beat Cloud Galactus. He doesn't have a shot against real Galactus.
Right? I mean, because if you're able to create a character, right, you gave him his powers, how could you defeat?
How could anyone defeat him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why the first, I guess spoiler warning, 50 plus years later, but the ultimate nullifier is, the one weapon that Galactus is scared of, and, Johnny retrieving that and that whole, so there was it wasn't just brawn that saved the day, it was brain. So, and daring, but that's why the story is so cool. It's not just, the Silver Surfer just doesn't fly up into a cloud and say, we win.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. I mean, and Ted is saying he watched Suicide Squad 2 last night. Yep. Bad, not great.
You mean the Suicide Squad?
The Suicide Squad, yeah. We got to see
Suicide
Starro,
Squad,
I guess. Right?
Then there's the Suicide Squad. Yeah.
I guess we didn't get Cloud Starro. I mean, it was a good popcorn movie. It's got some good scenes. I thought Ratcatcher 2, and it was a good character interaction with Bloodsport was good. So you had some good character. You always got to have some good character moments. So
yeah.
So did you watch it yet, or?
Yeah, I did. Thanks. Well, I was on with Doomcock last night. Hail the great Doomcock. He really, really enjoyed it a lot, and I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it. It was a fun, like you said, it's a fun movie. Some people hate it. Some people are liking it. Most part, it's funny how a lot of people are really liking it, but yet it is a bomb. It's officially a bomb. It's not. The dummies put it out for free on HBO Max for free, and in theaters. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
I liked the elements of it. It was goofy, fun. Very, pretty gory if you're not into that sort of thing.
Yeah, Ted is saying, you like Polka Dot Man. Yeah, Polka Dot Man was pretty well
Yeah, I like
done.
Polka Dot Man.
And he had good backstory. His character had motivation, made sense.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. They did a good job with the characterization. It was goofy, like I said, goofy fun. Getting to see Starro. Look, we're never going to see him fight in a proper Justice League film, or it should be.
Yeah.
So getting to see Starro at all is kind of fun.
Yeah. We didn't get Cloud Starro, thankfully, right?
Yeah.
The Starro.
At least it wasn't a cloud.
Cloud, yeah. And the way they visualize, the CGI now is so great, but that whole thing, it made sense. So, it's too. I mean, if you don't like gore, Raquel, don't watch it. I guess I know Raquel doesn't like horror stuff, but there was some pretty. Yeah. If you're squeamish at some gore,
yeah,
take care, Raquel. Yep. But if you, if you don't like people were complaining about being too gory or too R rating, but it's you just as long as you know that going in, like the scene with Harley Quinn fighting in the prison was really well done. I thought that was, and the visualizations. I mean, that was a really crazy, cool scene to watch, which fit Harley Quinn. So that was cool. But yeah, for free, right? I watched. I have HBO Max through my TV service. So, but I'd asked a friend. I'm like, "You want to go?" My buddy, we go to see every Marvel movie opening night, or any comic book movie, pretty much. And he's like, no, it's going to be on HBO Max, so we'll just watch it at home. So I think a lot of people did that, but I think they put in, the 185 million on the movie plus 100 million in advertising. So, and they only made 26 million this weekend. So that's
it's a flop.
It's a flop.
It's going to kill them. And again, that was their own damn stupid fault.
Yeah, and why put it? Don't put it online in a month. I mean, or charge for it, or it's I don't know what the views are on HBO Max, and unfortunately once it's out there on the interwebs, we all know that unfortunately people I pay for everything. I subscribe to all the streaming services. I still buy comics, but there's people out there that they just go and download things. So I always want to support the artists and the creators, but and I'm not judging. I can see why it's very easy. You just go on the interwebs and boom, it's there. Or you like you said, if you get it for free on HBO Max, why go to the theater? So
I have access to HBO Max, so
yep.
And yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. They just their fault though. As far as putting it for free on HBO Max wasn't particularly smart. You could have waited to do that later.
Yeah, because some of the other movies they waited like 30 days, I think. Like you had to pay for it, like Mulan. Not that I wanted to watch that, but I think you had to pay $30 on Disney Plus. Yep,
you had to pay for that. That was Disney though. The Warner's not being all that smart. So
yeah. Well, we'll still get comic book movies. I don't think we're in danger of that. That genre going away, right?
Well, they're going to make less of them now. If they, this had a big budget.
Yeah. Massive budget, yeah.
I don't know. This is not going to help, and which is good. They deserve it. The Warner's a bunch of jackasses. So,
yeah,
bunch of jackasses.
So, Phantom is bringing up a point. He also watch or violate his oath by by reading Reed's mind, blocking Galactus from reading Reed's intentions. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He did do that. Oh, Watcher was like the Doctor. He's like of the Time Lord's fame. He broke it.
He's always violating the Prime Directive.
Yes, his own or the directive of the Watchers. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't give a dang. That's for sure. Right. Oh man, what can you do? Well, I tell you what, everyone, I am just very appreciative of you all hanging out with me tonight. I know I didn't do much, but it's Jack Kirby month, so what I did is, and combined with, of course, still the day after the Kirby, the anniversary of Fantastic Four #1. So we talked a little Kirby, mixed in with a little FF, and showed pictures and stuff. I know it wasn't much, everybody, but next, I'll definitely have a topic, a Kirby-related topic, of course, next Monday night. But in the meantime, tomorrow night, I moved it. I moved it. I'm sorry, I lost my picture of it. Anyway. Tomorrow night, I'll be hosting the Comic Book Roundtable, Loki's Comic Book Roundtable. Loki doesn't like it when I call it that, but I'm a big believer, unlike certain guys named Stan, I like give credit where credit is due, but I'm always honored to host the Comic Book Roundtable. So tomorrow night, Loki and the gang and I will be on at 7 p.m. There you go, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's true. At least I had you to add a little class to the place today.
Yeah, I just said I'm not in Purple's leagues, but thank you.
Hey, Coldera, good to see you there. Oh, thank you very much, Catman. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. And so that's tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, folks. I'll be hosting that. And then, of course, open talk Wednesday night. I'll just be hanging out. It's just going to be like an open thing. Just take it, hanging out. Wild card Wednesday. I don't know what I'll do. Probably don't have a topic. Just kind of hang out with you and talk to you and get, just for the fun of it. There should be a global geek gang.
Geeks assemble.
Yep, the geeks shall assemble. Next Thursday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, there will be Saturday Night Star Trek on Saturday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And next week, more about the great king of comics, Jack Kirby. So everyone, thank you so much for being here. Catman Dee Dee Myers, thank you for that. The great Chris Persia. Cold Era, it is good to see you. Just a normie popped in. Thank you. Appreciate it. He had to run, I think. D. Bud Martin, brother. Always a pleasure. Really appreciate you. Phantom Outsider. Thanks for being here. The great Steve Mitchum. And the great Eric K. Have fun in Vegas, dude. I wish I could be there, man. Ted Millich. Good to see you. Thank you so much. JPRPH1. I didn't see you there. Thank you so much. I almost missed you there. Matthew Pounder. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Who was here? Just Joe popped in earlier. My buddy Jobber. Always a pleasure, brother. Raquel, the wonderful Raquel Briggs, my wonderful police officer. Love you there. Athena Follower, a new person I have not met before. I really appreciate all your input. You really know your FF, and it is a pleasure to have you hang out with us. I hope you will hang out with us again. I hope you see us again. Ted Millich, always good to see you.
Captain is Deckard, a replicant Spock. Did we mention him?
I was getting there because I was scrolling back and looking at him. No, appreciate it. No, because I miss him sometimes. Captain is Deckard, a replicant Spock. Buddy, you take care of yourself, sir, and have a great, I believe, day it is over there, my friend. I think you're in the daytime there. Thank you for popping in. Let's see here. Who else was here? Well, then there was some weirdo by the name of Mark D with a C. Oh no, he's right. Thanks for having me.
It was great to come on. Appreciate it. Yep.
I
great
appreciate
to talk about the FF. Yep.
Always great to talk FF, man. All of you have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. And hey, we'll do it again tomorrow night on the round table. Then Wednesday night, hey, it'll just be you and me and who else ever wants to pop in or whatever. So thanks as always. Oh, Great Stone Loki did pop in. Shout out to that Great Stone Loki, and always a pleasure to have him here. And he's helped me out a lot, and he made this great intro outro. Good night, everyone.